Right, guys. Lovely and cosy here now. It's I've got the wood burner blazing away, and the sun's come out. And although very crispy today, and I like this weather, very very crispy. It was -3 this morning, and I've also got the one bar on the electric fire on. I've been pushing the boat out recently on the fire. Um, but anyway, so I was just looking at this. I've been watching quite a few videos on these Christmas markets, just for to see what was happening in different places and which one looked okay and which one looked the best. And to me, they all look kind of more or less the same. I've had a look at Budapest. There was one in Zagreb, Bucharest. I couldn't find one on Sofia yet. There's one in Funchal in Madeira, Greece. One there, and I think I looked at one in Germany. But they said they'd been gate crashed there by people flying flags, Syrian flags in there. And they've headed there because that's where all the people are. And they could have said the gate crashed them, kind of thing. So that doesn't sound too good, does it? And anyway, so just a word on and I think I'm probably wired up differently than a lot of people. My idea of great is the wilderness somewhere, and there's no one there. Beaches, everything. The less people there, the better. And it says Christmas markets. I haven't watched it yet. Hell on earth. Christmas markets overpriced and underwhelming. Well, to me, from what I've seen, and you don't have to be like sort of ultra skeptical to see and what you like and what you don't like. I don't like crowds of people generally now. I used to do a few things with crowds of people. I quite like the horse racing, going there, and previously to that, I used to go to the football a lot, and that was all about crowds of people. But as you progress through life, but there's certain things I used to just kind of see like these on the same kind of along the same kind of lines as the Christmas markets, hell on earth. We used to have parades and stuff like that. I can never get them. With people on floats, and they're usually very badly done. And even when I was a kid, I used to think, so what are we looking at? Kind of thing. And I used to have a few things like that in Spain when I lived in when I lived in Gibraltar. They used to have the feria, which is the fair, and I honestly could never think of anything worse than this fair, and like the garbage what they used to sell, and all these cheap rides, and and they used to love it, and I couldn't think of anything worse, honestly. And they had a parade as well on the 7th. It was called the Three Kings, and I used to get these guys even on a camel. I don't know what put that poor animal where it was kept all year, but he used to go on these Three Kings, and they used to have camels and stuff, and I used to think it was garbage, and they used to rave about it, and it was awful, But anything like that, maybe I'm wired up wrong or differently, or whatever. I couldn't think of anything worse. The fair was terrible. It was all like these flashing. Anything that's bad for humanity. That was what was going on there. And then, these carnivals, like the Notting Hill carnivals, you're just descend into like people getting, stabbed, and debauchery, and pissing in gardens and all that. It's like, I couldn't think of anything worse than any of these things. But the Christmas markets, like Eastern Europe, they're not like doing that kind of stuff, and a bit more tasteful, shall we say, than like the crap you get in Spain. But they love it. They seem to like all that, and like that stuff in Rio de Janeiro. That would be my worst nightmare, going to that. The carnival, my worst nightmare. Because I just see that maybe different things. I just see these people, and they're doing all that for like 24 a week, not 24 hours, and by the end of it, they're wrecked, they're absolutely wrecked. And so what have they done during that time? They say they're enjoying it, but they don't look like they may be on the first day. First couple of hours, but then after that you can see they're like and they've got like 7 days of that nonsense, And anyway, like the Christmas markets, all I can see is the lights, and the atmosphere. I can see the atmosphere, and I quite like the build up to Christmas, the build up, and then that's it. Then after the 24th, garbage, all the rest of it is garbage, and even the period between Christmas and New Year was always kind of limbo land. It was like an anticlimax, and like the beginning of January, and I used to like getting out on the 1st of Jan when no one was around, and going for a walk down the canal or something like that. I'd prefer that, and because I stopped going to all the New Year's stuff years ago, because it was all commercialised, and then you can't get home. You got to pay or walk home or whatever you want, or pay like millions of pounds to go to some do. And I just couldn't. Didn't get it in the end. And they do have good fireworks here, actually. And it was a lot bigger for years and years and years. It was a lot bigger than Christmas. But they're getting into Christmas here now, Bulgaria. It was never massive. It was there, but it wasn't as big as it was in like the UK, and it wasn't in Spain either. They did the Three Kings and all that later on. There was hardly anything on there. I think they used to have something on the 24th of December, and then not the big Christmas Day kind of thing, But they're getting into it now here, or maybe you just didn't see it before. But that's what I can see. But these Christmas markets, all I can see there is food stalls and crowds. That's all I can see. There was a little bit more in Funchal in Madeira. It was more focused on drinking, which I can understand that. They were all having these fine wines and ports and all that kind of stuff in Madeira, and I could understand that. And they had special things, drinks and that for Christmas. But you have a look at all the other ones, and it's all like sausages and burgers and things that are too big to eat on the street. I don't know how people eat them. They're walking around, or they're on these stand-up stores. I wouldn't want to be standing in the cold eating a big sausage roll. Maybe it's just me, but like I can't see past all that. Now, if there's something like the ice rink, like in Sofia, I can see that. That's good, and and people are going to enjoy that. It's good. It's good for them, and learning ice skating, and then maybe there's some ice skating shows and professionals, and it's all centred around. I can understand that. You have a little bit of a drink and that. Yeah, and if there's something to see or watch or whatever. But like apart from that, I mean, these fairs and stuff like that, and carnivals, and I'm like, and you see the Notting Hill Carnival. I mean, it's absolutely debauchery. It's terrible. The last place I'd ever want to be on earth. And so the Christmas markets aren't as bad as that, obviously, but like, but from what I can see, that's all it is. And even if you had a band on or something, you're all right. If you went down there for 10 minutes or so, 20 minutes, that's that's what I would like. I mean, I saw Slade here once in Bulgaria. It was fantastic. So I'm not against. That was kind of spontaneous. That one, free. Everything was free there as well. And even like in the summer and that, where it's not like this organised. You've got to have this day, this week or this day. This is it. The carnival kind of time thing. And this is where you'd all go out and get ripped off, because that's what's happening, and that's what it says here. Overpriced, and they showed the prices on the Budapest one, ridiculous, and they're just like pastries and stuff, and like hamburgers and stuff like that. You can get anywhere, anytime. The day before the stall was there. There's a takeaway behind it, selling this stuff for like for a few euros. But anyway, I mean, I wouldn't be. I'm not against like I like this stuff where you have food and all that food at certain times of the year, things like that. A lamb, and you'd have a big get together. I mean, that's good. Things like that. But these commercialized things like on the Christmas. And going to a Christmas dinner, and I went to a couple of where you go out to eat on Christmas Day, and that's not bad, because it's like you go and have a meal somewhere, and it's a Christmas dinner, and it is a kind of like certain different foods and that. Expensive, but like I quite enjoyed that, but like generally these organised enjoyment, I call it, terrible things. And these like Disneyland, the last place I'd ever want to go on earth. If it was the last place where you say, look, here's where you can go and have a little bit of fun, or Vegas, oh my God, I'm looking at these things like, why would you ever want to go there? Las Vegas, have you seen it? It's just garbage, the whole lot. The whole start to finish. And they just get fleeced. And Disneyland. I mean, even when I was a kid, if someone said, do you want to go to Disneyland? I would say, no. Not a chance. I went to the fair sometimes in like seaside towns like Rill or Blackpool. And I just used to think, what am I doing here? When I was a kid, what am I doing here? And the circus, even worse. They still have the circus here. I couldn't believe it. They have camels and elephants. They come to our town here, Bulgaria, every year. Or every 2 years. Absolute garbage. I know one guy, and he's got the right idea. He goes and gets all the camel shit and elephant shit for the garden, for his garden. He goes and cleans it up for them, puts it all in a trailer. That's true. Absolutely true story. That's what he says. All the elephant shit, leave it there. No, I want it. He said it's the best stuff you can put on your garden. Anyway, But I don't know. I'm just glad when we go to Catania, it's all going to be over. I'm hopefully forgotten by the 25th. There's no traces that left of the festivities, and everyone's coming back to life. Get the first paycheck, won't they, at the end of the month? But I know where we're heading for, the mountains, the mountain passes. I've just been looking at them this morning, and that's where we go. where there's nothing, nobody there. That's where you get great stuff like waterfalls, and you meet interesting people. You can actually have a chat to them, and people talk. When you get in the mountains, people talk to each other. If you're the only people around for miles, and then you meet someone else, there's always a chat involved, and that's great. And on the mountain passes where there's no asphalt or anything, everyone's like waving at each other and stopping and talking to each other. It's fantastic, because sometimes you can think you're on the wrong track, and you say, "Am I on the right way?" And they'll do the same. How far is it, and what's the road like, and is it passable, and all that kind of stuff. And that's the stuff I like. That's genuine. Meeting people of similar mental derangement. Okay, cheers.